With more details regarding AEW buying out CM Punk's contract and a potential return to WWE, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. The venue hosting the WWE live event where Scarlett Bordeaux had a drink thrown at her by a fan has now issued a statement writing, "We are aware of the incident that took place at the WWE event on Saturday, November 12th. Fortunately, our Civic Center security team, along with the police, quickly identified the individuals responsible and escorted them out of the building for the remainder of the show. While we were disappointed in the actions of a couple and the brief distraction they caused, over 4,000 enthusiastic WWE fans were treated to a very entertaining event." Speaking on ad-free shows, former WWE writer and MLW owner Court Bauer recalled a meeting he had with Vince and Linda McMahon for his initial week on the job. "We had a show in Las Vegas. I was told, you're going to be on the corporate jet. You're going to Vegas. I had no idea who was on this jet. I get on the jet and I see Vince and Linda, and as soon as I get on, the accordion stairs flip up and I sit down. Oh it's me and the McMahons. We're flying to Vegas. I had lovely discussions and conversations with Linda, and she could talk about anything. Vince and Linda didn't really talk to each other, which was interesting. Then he was like, well, you have the show, let's go over it." He just went through the shows and would ask once in a while what I thought of something and would change up shows, and I said, oh, this is great. I go into the creative meeting, I say, hey guys, nice to meet you. I'm Court Bauer. Made some changes to the show and we're going to go through it. And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, shh, and I see their faces. They're looking at me and I'm like, yeah, I'm the a-hole you're going to hate. After defeating Karrion Kross at Crown Jewel in a steel cage, word has come out from within WWE for their thoughts on Drew McIntyre. As PW Insider reported, there were quite a few people praising McIntyre for his commitment to the company as he went from the United States to Germany and Switzerland for SmackDown shows, then on to Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, then India to film what was described as a movie role the company set up with Sony, then flew right back to the US to work the SmackDown taping, then a pair of live events, so he was on the road for several weeks straight for WWE related appearances. With AEW star Jeff Hardy arrested for DUI after leaving a Florida Dave & Buster's in June, PW Insider provided the police report giving new details to the arrest. The FHP tried to pull over Hardy, who initially did not respond, but finally did pull over. When troopers approached Hardy, he was reaching into a backpack and was told to remove his hands. I issued loud verbal commands for the driver to take his hands out of the bag, to which he did not respond. Trooper Zach Steiner wrote in the report, I proceeded to slap the passenger window to gain his attention, which was also unsuccessful. The driver appeared to be in a stupor and confused. Hardy had issues placing the car in park, rolling it forward. He then slammed on the brakes and finally put the car in park. Revealing why he took a shot at Triple H and Braun Strowman during his appearance on AEW Dynamite, Jeff Jarrett said this on his My World podcast. I love the industry because if you're not into social media, that's the last outlaw, just kind of taking a dig at a blanket statement of big men in wrestling in red skinny jeans, just an outfit and circus and all that. Here is a legitimate megastar from India. In my mind is, how am I going to put this guy over? But also, you call it old school heat, get a reaction, be the antagonist, and put this guy over. I had no idea about Braun and showing up late. I didn't know any of that, but I was aware of him being kind of, I don't know if it's naive or whatever you want to call it, when he takes a shot at the flippy flop stuff. It's almost tone deaf. In 2022, when you look at the landscape of all of pro wrestling, you want to resonate with your audience. Hats off, I think Corey Graves made a great statement that Braun is happy that him and Omos had a great match. At the same time, he didn't put just one, he put both his feet in his mouth and is knocking flippy flop, which take offense to, because this industry, whether it's the X Division or Lucha Libre or whatever, if we don't have a diversity of genres and styles of wrestling, it's a different appetite. For him to take a shot at it, I thought, here's a perfect opportunity to draw an analogy, and Braun, whether he's a former softball player or strongman, he's got some accolades, but he's certainly not an NBA player. I'm the antagonist, the last outlaw, so I'm putting my guy over. If you look at the four of us, Jay Lethal, when he flips the switch in ring, he's really good. Sanjay legit has a high IQ, which I put over. He's one of the only guys, when I started TNA, hey, I can't make the Wednesday show. Why not? I have to go to class. That put him in a different category from me from day one. We've always had a close relationship. I've worked with him for years. Satnam goes without saying, I'm proud of our unit, and I wanted to lay it out like that. Satnam is a legit giant. Talking about having heat during his run in WWE for his attitude, Lio Rush told the Say Less podcast, naturally, I'm a pretty quiet person, and I feel like that's where the confusion between people thinking, okay, is he like this? Because I would be backstage just ready to do my thing, and people knowing that I'm 22 years old, every opportunity that I'm getting, I'm killing it. I don't think I messed up a promo one time. So I feel like it was hard for people to look at this loud, brash, arrogant character on screen and look at me being quiet and reserved backstage. People were like, oh man, this MFer's cocky. With Kevin Owens suffering an MCL injury recently, it seems WWE had huge plans for the star, as the Wrestling Observer noted that I believe he was going to be in the War Games match. He was supposed to be a surprise, so it adds up he'd be in the War Games match. He'd be the last guy against the Bloodline in the match because of him and Sami Zayn. If that were the case, this could cost him that. I think they may have to reshuffle that one and come up with a new guy on Friday. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer touched on WWE's plans for Austin Theory, who seemed to show a new aggressive side during Raw last night. Yeah, the show is all about making Austin Theory dump in the selfie thing, which quite frankly, if you're going to make him a top guy, you needed to dump it. That was very much the second match guy gimmick anyway, so they're dumping that and trying to get him to be more of a vicious guy and put him in there. He lost to Seth last week, but they're going to go with the big Seth Rollins and Austin Theory feud, it looks like. Maybe even on pay-per-view. Discussing her upcoming match against Britt Baker at Full Gear, Saraya said this on Insight with Chris Van Vliet. I'm dying to get back in the ring again. I'm excited that it's not too far away. I know there are going to be a lot of eyes on that match. There's a lot of pressure to make sure that I put on a good enough match where everyone is like, welcome back. We like that she's back. There's going to be a lot of nervous people watching me too, because I feel that there are a lot of people that aren't haters, that are worried about me. They're going to be watching. Then you have the haters on top of that just want to see me fail or hurt are going to be watching. Then the people that are happy that I'm back are going to be watching. For everybody watching, everybody in general, it's going to be a big deal. I'm going to be under a microscope that day. Everything I'm going to be doing is going to be scrutinized. I'm fully expecting at this point after the match, I'm not going to look at social media or have it on my phone. I'm already too much in my head to the point where I just want it to be good, and I have to focus on making sure that I keep myself safe and make sure Britt is safe. And the pressure of having a match is wild to me. It's a beautiful story, but it makes me nervous. During the same interview, Saraya had this to say about a rematch with Sasha Banks, who was involved in Saraya's last WWE match before initially retiring from in-ring competition. That's what I said in response to Van Vliet saying Banks and Saraya should wrestle. I really wanted to have that match with Sasha. I wanted to have that rematch with her because we have that built-in story, so I really wanted that. One day I'll have my match with Sasha Banks. Giving an update on the contract buyout talks between AEW and CM Punk, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio, if you're looking for the match that's going to shake up the business, the Punk match is the one. But I don't know that Punk will have a release from AEW. There's just a lot of issues there. When it comes to a potential return to WWE for CM Punk, Meltzer would also note that, I know people in WWE who absolutely do not want Punk there, but they are not the people on the creative team. Everyone knows what happened in AEW. It's like, do we really want that? Do we need that? No, we don't need that. We don't really want that. But at the end of the day, it's not their decision. It's the decision of Nick Khan and Stephanie and Paul. Paul may just go in there and go, look what happened. We don't need it. And they don't. They don't need it. And he may just do that. If it was Vince, Vince would do it, I think, with that kind of money at stake. With WWE reportedly offering Stone Cold Steve Austin a match, the Rattlesnake was seen working out in his RV, and he looks to be in pretty good shape. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.